Hello, I'm Father Matthew Hawkins of the Diocese of Pittsburgh. Last week we explored 3 points concerning how we should approach the Bible from Mary Elizabeth Sperry's article on taking an intelligent spiritual approach to the Bible. Sperry is the Associate Director for Utilization of the New American Bible, and her article can be found on the website of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. This week, we will explore Sperry's 4 points that we will find in the Bible when we read it prayerfully and as we study it. Sperry points out that the Bible is not merely one book. It is, in fact, an anthology. It is a whole library. And secondly, she points out that when we read the Bible, we should understand what kind of literature the Bible actually is. It is not a history book in the same sense that we think of a history book today, and it is not a science book, and it is not a political manifesto. It is the revealed Word of God that provides us with what we need for salvation. A third point is that the whole of the Bible is greater than the sum of its parts. Therefore, it is important to read the Bible in context, taking into consideration the passages and books that precede whatever section of the Bible we happen to be reading, as well as the passages and books that follow that section. We should read with an eye toward the interrelation of all sections of the Bible. Although the Bible is a library, there is integrity to all of the books as a whole. And finally, Sperry points out that we cannot fully understand the Old Testament unless we read the New Testament, which draws everything together. And likewise, we cannot fully understand the New Testament unless we read the Old Testament, which gives the New Testament richness and vitality. In fact, the New Testament is a dialogue with the Old Testament. We will get much more out of the Gospels, the letters of Paul and the letters of the Apostles, and the book of Revelation, when we discover the echo of the Old Testament, which we will find within them. Sperry puts it this way. The Bible isn't a book, it's a library. The Bible is a collection of 73 books written over the course of many centuries. The books include royal history, prophecy, poetry, challenging letters to struggling new faith communities, and believers' accounts of the preaching and passion of Jesus. Knowing the genre of the book you are reading will help you to understand the literary tools the author is using and the meaning the author is trying to convey. Know what the Bible is and what it isn't. The Bible is the story of God's relationship with the people he has called to himself. It is not intended to be read as a history text, a science book, or a political manifesto. In the Bible, God teaches us the truths that we need for the sake of our salvation. The sum is greater than the parts. Read the Bible in context. What happens before and after, even in other books, helps us to understand the true meaning of the text, the section of the Bible that we're reading right now. And finally, the Old relates to the New. The Old Testament and the New Testament shed light on each other. While we read the Old Testament in light of the death and resurrection of Christ, it has its own value as well. And therefore, these testaments help us to understand God's plan for human beings. So remember, the Bible is not simply a single book. It is a whole library that contains many different styles of writing. And when we read one section of the Bible, we should try to be aware of the specific genre that it represents so that we will not misunderstand what God is saying to us. And similarly, we should know what the Bible is and what it isn't. We should not think of the Bible as being a history or science book in the style of history and science books of the 21st century. We also should not try to reduce the Bible to a political manifesto. The Bible is much deeper than all of that. The Bible reveals to us the mysteries that will lead to our salvation. In a similar way, we should understand that the whole of the Bible is much bigger than the sum of its parts. We have to read each passage in the Bible in relation to all the other parts so that we do not get a distorted view of what God is telling us, and so that we do not take things out of context. And finally, our reading of the Bible will be impoverished if we fail to read the Old Testament in light of the death and resurrection of Christ, and if we fail to read the New Testament with an ear for the dialogue that is taking place in it with the Old. I'm Father Matthew Hawkins of the Diocese of Pittsburgh, and next week we will explore Mary Elizabeth Sperry's final 3 points on how the Bible should deepen our Catholic spirituality and transform our journey with Christ. May God bless you.